brothers, and they refused. Or at least they said they refused. You never know. Evolution of the soul. A lot of things that's happening that people will not give us credit for it. We don't need the credit. We don't need credit. But the evolution of the soul is something that's very important in human evolution. And if people put you in a certain position, you're going to have to evolve. We said it years ago in stages of growth in the Islamic movement, 1 and 2. Stages of growth. We're still in stages of growth. Long as you're here, you're going to be either getting bigger or smaller. You're not going to stay still. So we hope we're advancing. We're going to try to get to saintly policies, saintly procedures that make you stretch. Jarir radiallahu anhu reported that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "He who is devoid of kindness is devoid of all good." If you're devoid of kindness, it don't make no difference what else you got going for you. It's basically all over. Conduct, as meant in the following pages, is a bundle of virtues and vices. If a bundle of virtues, as defined in Islam, is found expressed in a person, he is called a man of good conduct, a bundle of virtues. 3 years ago in San Francisco, one of the last programs we attended, we told the brothers from Iran, everything is going your way. The world is opening up to you. You don't have to worry. And a lot of people are going to join you and be with you. And you got to have a certain attitude. You have to treat them right. Because when they come, they're bringing their family, they're bringing their hopes and dreams and aspirations. You, talking to the Iranians, have to treat them according to what they're bringing with them and where y'all want to go. So it was all about what they call akhlaq. Yeah, character. Character. See, when you fulfill certain obligations, it improves your character. We'll go on a little bit. Kinds of treatment and conduct. There are 5 kinds of treatment toward the people. The first 3 of them are lawful, and the last 2 are unlawful. Returning good for evil, number 1. This is the best kind of treatment. Such man does benefit to humanity, even doing loss to himself, and has therefore been termed truthful in the Quran. Number 2, refraining from doing evil to one who does wrong. Such man plays a passive part and is therefore good. If people beat you upside your head and you don't return the favor, that means you're better than they are. That's just, everybody knows that. You're better. And they become dummies. The more they act like that, they become dummies. But you just wait around. And you're not going to hate them for it either, nor will you dislike them. Returning evil for evil, it is lawful. It's lawful for a person to go, you going to do that? Okay. We'll take care of that. We'll see about that. Right? That's lawful. As long as you don't exceed the limits. But you can almost try to count up how many times they bust you upside the head and try to get close to it and use the same amount of force and strength, right? Number 4, doing evil for no wrong. This is unlawful. Number 5, doing wrong for good done to one. This is the worst kind of treatment. and such man is called ungrateful. Right. So there's kinds of good conduct. If you notice, our favorite ayat stresses returning good for people who do you evil. That's our favorite ayat. Okay. Abdullah ibn Amr radiallahu anhu reported that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the best of you is he who is the best in conduct. That's agreed. Muttafaqa alayha. That means everybody, all the six collectors of hadith agree on it. Malik reported that it reached him that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I have been sent to complete good manners. Muwatta Ahmed from Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu. Abdullah ibn Masud reported that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, shall I not inform you about one who is prohibited from the fire and about one for whom the fire is prohibited? Every meek, modest, accessible, plain man. Ahmed, Tirmidhi, and it's rare. Every modest, every meek, every person that's accessible. Has anybody watched any of the programs dealing with Abu Muhandis or Suleimani? They were meek, they were modest, they visited the brothers, which people would call the day-to-day brothers, and they hung out with them. Could you imagine the big general and all of that? They driving by to say, hey, how y'all doing today? And they sitting there talking with you. How many people in your family, man? What city you from? You know what I mean? Just like human beings do. The big generals, the bigger they is, the farther away they are. Right? So they're not accessible. This Islam is deep, you know. Bulletproof vest, and he fired half his guards. He said, I'm not firing you, just I don't need all of y'all running around. And they even said some of the motorcycles he rode or people rode him around on and stuff, they wouldn't reach the safety. They saying it was unsafe, you know. That's what Iranians say is unsafe. Now, if you've never ridden or driven in Iran, you got experience coming. No, you got experience coming. Man alive. I used to think Colombia was serious. Man, I took one of my friends down to Colombia at the airport when we was coming back. He was a tough guy. And I was riding with Sheikh Berry up there in Detroit. I don't know the island. Sheikh Berry. He's head of a big Islamic center up there. Man, we was in Iran. I said, man, you supposed all the programs is about martyrdom and everything, and you hollering. Because you see cars, and they know what they're doing. And hey, man, over there, they do that. That's what they do. I said, man, you got to be trained in this. And in Iran, it's worse than Colombia. And you see them nice little ladies with just beautiful hijab. You know, and they, hey, man, you can't, the people that call themselves driving over here, hey, man, they don't know nothing about driving. Abdullah bin Sarjis, radiallahu anhu, who reported that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, good conduct, delay, and moderation is a 24th part of prophethood. You got to look at this now. Good conduct, delay. Delay, we talk about it all, man, delay is big. Not only dealing with contentment, but everything. Because you have an idea this morning, and then you say, I'm going to wait a few days, and it looks different. That's why things that be happening to us all the time, we stick delay on it. Delay according to what we feel is delay. And it looks different. That's why nothing can happen to us. We're going to respond right away. This response. Right? No. Delay. Put a delay on it. Put delay on everything. The other hadith say delay is good in everything except, prayers and things like that. Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu reported that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, good guidance, good manners, and moderation form one part out of, this says, 25 parts of prophethood. That's getting pretty big. You got to remember, it talks about if those people that do the honest businessman is nearer to Allah, then not gonna say, but it's up there. Yeah, it's up there. This hadith didn't mean we've been putting limits on ourselves. We've been putting limits on ourselves. Let me say it again. I have been putting limits on myself. You got to rise. This is not last year's struggle. We done went through 2020. We have to keep up with the movement. We have to evolve all the time. That's why Mandela went to prison. The movement was a certain level. He came out in front of the movement. That's why he told them, the police, they're all white folks. The businesses are owned by white folks. The army, everybody in the army is white folks, right? If we come out today and take all the stuff from them, did y'all see that movie when Morgan Freeman played Nelson Mandela, and it was about rugby? Right, the rugby. It's the rugby batch. When they had the white folks rugby team, everybody wanted to get rid of that rugby team, and all of them, when they was in prison, when they was playing Britain or anybody else, everybody on Robben Island always was rooting for Britain instead of the South African team. But when he became the president, he said basically that's all they have. If we take everything from them, right, we're going to live up to what they expected of us. They expected Zimbabwe, they expect, Mozambique. They expect you to take everything from them that they like, right? Therefore, they're going to sabotage your economy, and of course they did that, Everybody wondered, why drugs pop up in South Africa so fast? Why AIDS pop up in South Africa just like that, bam, the next day? Well, anyway, it's a long story. So we're not going to overdo it. Aisha radiallahu anha reported that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to pray, "O Allah, Thou hast made my constitution good, make my conduct good also." So I can imagine him looking at himself and looking in the mirror. He said the same thing when he looked. Allah, you done made me all right. So now make me inside good as I look. Basically, that's what it adds up to. Make me become as good a person as I look in the mirror. Now, suppose all these people running around said that and did it, followed it up. Okay. No, that's what he's saying. Everybody, the hadith say he's a handsome person and da-da-da-da-da. Now imagine you looking in the mirror, you say, boy, you's a killer here. Now you got to get as good inside as you look in the mirror. That's why we tell everybody, look, we have to do, when we look in the mirror, we see ourselves. We don't see you and we don't see nobody else. right? So we're going to hook ourselves up. So to close that part out, we can slip into, it's not something anybody, or we would do on purpose, is limit ourselves. But remember, when we read about these great personalities, what? We can't be that? We can't do that, right? That's self-limiting, and we're not going to participate in that. So, Thursday, if anybody can make it, we're going to deal strictly with what we said before, strictly with management and leadership and writing on letters. And this is kind of like